the shit, girl.
With your catwalk, you don't take no lip, girl. This is your night, right? Go and let them wish, girl. This is for my ball girls who kill it with them dips, girl. That hair whip, spin shit. Yeah, you never trip, girl. through with your catwalk. You don't take no lip, girl. This is your night, right? Go and let them wish, girl.
The cats we fucking with put bombs in your mom's gas tank. Let's get this money, baby. They shady, we get shady. Dress up like ladies and burn them with dirty 380s. Then they come. That's all out. I got cats that blow the wall out. Clear them all out. Fuck the fallout. Word to stretch, I bet they pussy. This every digit push me. Fucking real. Here's the deal. I got 100 bricks, 14.5 a piece. Enough to cop the six. Bye.
What you gonna do?
I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I'ma throw shapes, feeling the bass till my feet hurt. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
But I'ma throw shade if I don't get paid for this housework. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I'ma throw shapes, feeling the bass till my feet hurt. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
But I'ma throw shade if I don't get paid for this housework. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I'ma throw shapes, feeling the bass till my feet hurt. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
But I'ma throw shade if I don't get paid for this housework. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I'ma throw shapes, feeling the bass till my feet hurt. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
I'ma throw shapes, feeling the bass till my feet hurt. I call it housework, cause it's light work.
What you gonna do?
throw shapes, feeling the bass to my feet, hey. I call it housework, cause it's light work. But I'ma throw shade if I don't get paid for this housework.
been a data center.
Am I here? Alright. Assumedly that's me. Yeah, I should probably get on with the text. Where are we at? Alright. Thank you all for being here. If you can't hear me, I'll move a little closer, but that's about as close as I can get to the mic right now. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate everyone for coming. I've actually had a great chat in the waiting room, as it were, and that's one of the reasons why I start up the thing and do the music, is so that I can talk with people in the chats and I can get, some one-on-one attention to people. And I didn't get to read that message. All right, so I kind of read. Oh. Oh no. Okay. Daniel is going into retrograde. All right. Well, there we go. All right. We're all in good hands here. Thank you for what you have shared. I appreciate the no worries. All right. So I appreciate the sometimes the thing with these ideas that we get, like I've had crazy wacky ideas, and sometimes it's like you can't be afraid. I'll put it this way: if the universe is giving you plans for something, you have to work with them. If you try and put them away, but it just keeps coming back and you keep getting reminders of it, at least on paper, you have to work it all the way through. That does not necessarily obligate you to turn it into a patent or to do anything with it. Maybe the universe at this time just wants you to finish some ideas you have in your head and get it all out into like a Word document on your computer. And that is like the last thing of, like, I have projects that are like that I don't know if I'll ever get to, but they're very brilliant. But to, I did the writing part and I did the artwork and I put everything together on the computer in the drive, and so that I could share it. And it's like, oh man, now I need to edit this. It's like 120 pages of writing. It's like, oh my God. Like, yeah, there's a lot of potential there, but holy fuck, I need to hire someone to edit this. So, like, that's my thing on it. I don't value or, evaluate like whatever people's work is, what their plan is. Daniel was talking about some, a plan of something um, important in his life that probably would make a difference. So it's not my place to say one way or another if it's a good idea, but my having had experience with out there ideas that would make a huge difference if I can ever get them, rolling. It's to thine own self be true, and you have to go through. To me, my view of this, and I have the quantum accounting. Like I said, this 120 pages of just the text, and I caramba, and so that it's. I wrote it all out. I wrote it all out in longhand, right? Wrote it all out in longhand, and then I typed it all in like a word pad. And then I had to go in and format it all, and then there's like lots of steps to this, but I couldn't sleep until I had gotten it out into paper, into the computer, and onto the disk. And then once I saw the magnitude of how big it was, it's like, I don't know how to work with this. So, part of my, kind of feedback to the comments here about, don't project of what's going to happen if it's done and perfected. It's like, man, there may be light years between it getting, it getting on paper and it getting done, right? Like, just, don't even go there. If the universe is giving you a direction, you got to go down that walk, that's fate, right? That's fate. Fate is not where you end up. That's destiny. Fate is the path you took, right? So it's like Jonah with the big whale, the big fish. He got swallowed up by he tried to escape. He got swallowed up by the big ass fish, and then it puked him onto the shore of where he was going to go anyway. Like, all right, the universe has its way of slapping us. So they're gentle reminders, so little taps. You get little taps. Maybe you should, little course corrections. And if you follow the little voices, it's little tiny small course corrections, you'll be where you should be eventually. But if we don't listen, we don't follow the right path that we kind of knew, was pretty sure, but I didn't. If you don't follow that pathway, the universe slaps you if it loves you, if it likes you, if it cares about you. It bashes you back into the path you should have taken, wherever that was. And it's not the universe, it's your co-creator. When we talk about co-creator, it's your pathway. When you came here, this is what the teaching is. I'm giving you the teaching here as I understand it. Part of the mission, part of the pathway is what you decided you wanted to learn, or the lessons you needed to go through here in this form. And so it's not the universe imposing anything on you, right? That's the other half of it, the trick to it as well. It's like you have things in this life you're supposed to do, right? I don't know what they are. I don't know if the plan's a good plan or not, right? I'm not here to evaluate the quality of it like I am the resonance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm evaluating the F-bomb out of them, okay? But in someone's individual life, all I say is having my own nut job things that I'm still working on that are just not ready for the time. The time is just not ready for them yet. But when it's completed, and in that part is completed, someone else will pick it up and know what to do with it. That's the hope, right? Because I don't know. I'll tell you that. I was the one that came up with the idea. It came to me. Like, I just was the transcriber on it. It's like, all right, I see it all. Oh my God, I can't make this happen. So I think that that's very much a reality of, of the plans that we have, the things that we do and what we're looking for, is that, it's like, we agreed to take it on when we came here. We were confident before we were in the human body, when we were in the spirit form and not limited by the body. A lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us agreed that we would do some pretty hardcore change the world kind of stuff. And so The question is not whether or not the plan is good or that, but it's like, can you stick with it long enough to make it happen? Right? That's part of it as well, right? Do you have the repetitive motion in you, the ability to go through the same same set of, like me doing the videos, right? The information changes, but there's a form. I fiddle with it. I got my routine. I got my, my live stream here. Like, all right. So before the actuality of it into existence, there's a lot of steps that come to figuring out what getting all the moving parts together. And for me specifically, like the studio here, that's a good example, living example of how many moving parts there are at this point. The wires, it's nuts. I didn't have this 6 months ago. But as is needed, the complexity of things starts becoming obvious. There the as things heat up and the water boils and society comes through its metamorphosis and things change. So things that you got in the back burner that are not relevant now, like it's just before its time, like those are things that you keep close to your heart. Like I know it's a good idea to work. It's, there's a lot of the framework for this, the infrastructure is already in place. I don't need to reinvent the wheel for this. When you start going down the mental checklist of why this is a great idea, there's a lot of plus, a lot of pluses there. The pro column is heavy. You weigh it. You have the, I'm a Libra. We weigh stuff. And so in the aggregate, the pluses outweigh the minuses. Like there's no reason why the idea itself can't work out. Right? Like that's, my feedback on that, we're talking about something like, yeah, it's a great idea. That's the idea isn't the problem most times, right? The quality of the idea itself is not the problem. Part of it is selling it, having it in a cohesive manner. When I say selling it, it's in the sense of someone being able to understand in 30 seconds what your deal is, right? And I'm using this in a general term, that accepting it. Oh, okay, all right, I get what you're doing. Like with me, the Schumann resonances. Oh, really? What are you doing? All right, I can explain in 10 seconds, 15 seconds, what the Schumann resonances are. Okay. What am I doing? I do a YouTube channel where I explain the Schumann resonances to people, their frequency peaks in the lowest band of the electromagnetic radiation of the Earth bouncing around the planet, the lowest of the low. They're like radio waves. They're glorified radio waves, right? I want to make an antenna that detects these things. It's like a radio antenna that you'd pick up, radio waves, but the lowest possible waves. Really? Oh, how much is that going to cost? There you go. In 30 seconds on the elevator, I sold it. Okay. So that's part of what gets the idea moving forward, is that how well you package it. How well is it, the cue card version of it? Do you have a little picture? Do you have a diagram? Do you have an illustration? You're not putting it all out there. You're just, getting people interested in the idea with a sales pitch, and that's part of what this is as well. Is, when I say sales pitch, it's just a 30-second, demonstration of what it is to get you more in the door, and, everything in life here is some kind of sales pitch or something, so this is something that we deal with, and this is part of what the the shtick of the Schumann resonances is to be able to kind of help you decipher what's kind of, I don't know, it's shit and shinola. Terrence McKenna says that. I'm like, that's a great expression. All right, so you're welcome, Daniel. I'm glad you shared this with me, and the chat room, and I I appreciate. I caramba. There's a lot of stuff that when my guides told me that I was going to have to do this. It was more than just like the Schumann resonances. There's people that are waking up now, and it's time. And it's that I've had to be in the background long enough. I've had to be behind the stage, in the scrim, as it were, working on my thing out of the spotlight for a long time, right? Because I wanted to. I don't want to. I don't want to really be in the spotlight. I don't really want to be famous. But I'm at the point where it's like, I know more about this because I've studied and I have a lot more life experiences than a lot of people. And so through no choice of my own, I sort of, like I'm by default the guy that knows the most about these. And so I can't be quiet about that, and I can't be anonymous about that, like what I know about the Schumann. In part because it bothers me to read comments of people that have no idea what they're talking about. Like, all right, so that's the thing. But generally, my guide said that you have a place. Everyone has a place a place. Everyone has a thing to do. Everyone has a job to do. And most people are unhappy in this life because they haven't found their place and their purpose and their mission, what they're supposed to be doing. For me, personally, like, I've seen enough. I've done enough. I've been around. I've heard enough. I want to just retire, be done with the mission. My family's all gone. Right? Everyone I've known is all gone. It's just me, and all the people that are surrounded. The longest I've known someone is 10 years at this point, which isn't that big of a deal, isn't that whatever? But it's like the people who've known me, my whole family, are gone. And if it wasn't for doing these videos with you, I would like this really. This has been a wonderful experience, and if I wasn't doing this with you, I would be less happy about having to be here. And so I have been blessed with having, every single one of these live streams, I get at least 6, 7 people, 10. A lot of times I'll have 10 people the whole way through, or 8 people, and even though not everyone talks in the chat, like sometimes the chats are very lively, and sometimes people just kind of have this on in the background and they'll listen to me kind of talking and reading through stuff, and like, all right, I've done that too. So it's all good. So I just say for myself, I'm tired, and I'm ready to move on to the next step, but I can't because there's still work to do. And you can look at it maybe in a couple ways. There's the one way, like the fate versus destiny, all right? And let me just also say this, that what I'm talking about now is what I had thought I would be having more of this would be more of the content of my channel. When I first, at the beginning of last year, this time, when I knew I was going to have to do a channel and have YouTube content, I thought this type of stuff, where I discuss the difference between fate and destiny. Like that's one of the things. And, like where we're talking about here is fate versus destiny. It's like, you can either pay me now or pay me later kind of thing. All right. There's one of the ways the universe shows its love is it doesn't let you go. it finds a way to include you back into the pack so that you're not left behind, so that you don't have to repeat this again. Okay. And that's one of the lessons that I was told, that if I didn't, get the mission done, I was going to have to repeat it. So, this life is difficult. This life is just freaking difficult here. It's work to get up in the morning sometimes. I'd love to talk about the Schumann resonances, and that's what I do. That's what I'm here for. But that is what gets me up in the morning sometimes. But honest to God, sometimes I need that reminder first thing in the morning when I get up and I check my messages, that reminder from someone in the comments that said thank you for making this understandable to me. Right? Some mornings I don't even want to get out of bed. Right? I'm being honest that I got things to live for, big freaking deal. I just want to sleep. So that's why my guides, being at that point I was at a year ago, my guides have provided me with an audience and a studio to make nice videos for people, and so I can be a blessing to people and help others through areas that are, for me, it's like, oh, I've been through that already, and then some, and then I've had to finesse and hone the, once again, the responses to certain things or whatever. And my guides remind me that you have a huge spiritual, emotional progress that a lot of people don't, because I have worked on this stuff. Well, thank you, Autumn Joy. I appreciate that. Sometimes I get the lesson. I'm supposed to be teaching or presenting a lesson, mentoring a lesson here, every day. And some days it's like, you know what? I just want to play 4 hours of music, dance music, talk with people in the chats. I do that. At the end of, a number of these, maybe all of them, I've done that. Have this slow scroll rolling as I'm, chatting, and it's a great thing. And my guides tell me that if that's what I can do on some days, then yay, I get the little star next to my name for showing up, right? Because even in my, the scroll through, I give you information on all kinds of stuff, like you wouldn't be finding it elsewhere. And if you could read it, like, all right, that's a thing of it too, like, all right, make it big enough so you can see it, but a lot of it is technical, like, I have difficulty making it through that. So if I'm having difficulty, I'm pretty sure you will too, whatever. But, so it can be difficult. Oh, there's a lot of irregularity with the Schumann that hasn't been mentioned. What specifically do you mean irregularity? You got to remember something, that what would fascinate me in this discussion with people, so that I'm not talking with toddlers, and no offense to you all, I love you all. The 8 of you or whatever, however many of you that are here. I'm not talking about you. I love you. You're wonderful. You're dismissed. You're excused. All right. But the rest of everyone else, when they talk to me about the Schumann, I would love people to come up to me in the discussion, first and foremost, and say, oh, well, at Tomsk today, they're having a blizzard, and it just so happens they're getting this crazy reading. Could the two of them be coinciding? Well, let's freaking talk about that, shall we? Yes, the first you get a freaking gold star and you get a little bow tie from me or whatever special thing. Yes, the first thing you've heard me speak before. Like I'm not a broken record. Someone actually heard me. You understood what I said. The local interference. What's going on locally, right? Boom. Okay, and the same thing. The flip side of that, the flip side of the coin, when people talk about the medical related stuff, their ascension phantom symptoms, and they say, oh, I'm feeling this way, I'm feeling that way. Do you ever see someone have you ever seen someone, well, I went to the doctor, I had a complete checkup, and they did this and that and this and that and this and that. One time out of 1,000, I think I've seen that, right? Like, it's not a thing you see. Look in the mirror first, right? Like, like that's part of what this exercise, part of what my job, my mission here is to at least get people understanding first and foremost the local interferences, So when we talk about, and that could be any number of local interferences, up to and including the janitor kicking the the socket, the plug out of the socket when he used the waxer on the floor. He needed another plug, and there's this one. I don't know what it does. Like, it's Russia. They do stuff like that. Like, all right, they don't mean to, but they do. All right. I'm not picking on the Russians. So, where am I? So yeah. So, in fact, if I found someone who did that for me, presented the local environment at like the same thing I did. You go over, look at earthquakes. Oh, all right, there's a big ass earthquake going on in Croatia right next door. Oh, okay, that wasn't difficult to find it. So anyway. There is when the Schumann resonances are, like I said, they're held fixed and constrained by certain factors. One of those is the size and the shape of the Earth. Okay. Now, the Earth is changing. All right? There's suns, the neutrinos come in, they do whatever. Other stuff comes in. The sun heats up the core, of the planet, and it adds. It's a very dynamic process. So, if the shape of the cavity, I use that expression, the insulating cavity, which is between the Earth and the ionosphere, changes, the Schumann resonances will change, like a bellows or a squeeze box, or if you could picture a sponge. The environment, the atmosphere is spongy, kind of. I don't want to call it a spongy material. You don't think of it that way. It's like air, but there's a pressure to it. And we're being pushed down by all the, the air pressure that's over us, creates this pressure down here. So as the magnetosphere compresses the ionosphere, compresses the thermosphere, and on and on and on, it creates this kind of squeezing effect. Okay. And the Earth, you got to remember, there's two circuits going on. There's the DC, there's a few different circuits. There's the DC circuit of the ionosphere that circles the planet. It's a capacitor. holds a charge. There's the insulating cavity that separates the ionosphere from the Earth. Then there is the Earth as a DC current of DC circuit as current, which is a direction, north, south, east, and west. There's 4 directions that it can go in, not just 2, of plus and minus. With the current, there's 4. It goes, I think, four directions. It goes out in all directions, but on the ground. All right. So the first DC current, the upper DC, is charge, high voltage, plus or minus. Okay, so it goes from that, the high state, plus or minus, the plus, drops down into the minus, to the earth, ground, and then discharges. Boom. That's predominantly what causes the Schumann resonances, are those discharges in the atmosphere. However, there's also the other DC circuit that goes right through to the ground, the earth. It goes right through, like light, optical light. It goes right through. That's a DC, straight through into the earth, into the planet. Okay. So you have 2 different circuits, 2 different DC circuits. One's the charge, one's current. Then you have an AC circuit, which, if you're familiar with Birkeland currents, that's sort of what this, that's generally what this sort of is. That there's an AC exchange, alternating current, which is a wave, goes from, bounces, right? So the Schumann resonance is bouncing, ba-ding-da-ding. That's the AC circuit of the geoelectric circuit, the geoelectric grid. All right. So there are certain, how do I say this? There are certain charges that come in and ground into the earth and ring the earth, like you kind of said. All right. So it's not that doesn't happen. Okay. Right? I mean, that's a thing that does happen. The Schumann resonances are not, they're bouncing off of the surface of the planet, right? So they're not, the Schumann resonances aren't the heartbeat of the planet, right? The Schumann resonances are the breathing of the planet. Okay, that's a much better analogy. It's the AC circuit that, your heartbeat is what is internal into your body and the planet, right? It's even more internal than your lungs, because the blood goes to your lungs and it goes into your lungs up to a certain point, and then it returns, right? So the breathing, your blood never touches the surface of your body, assumedly, unless you get, something happens. But for the most part, your blood never touches the surface of your body, whereas the breathing, you're intaking directly from the atmosphere in and out. So your breathing is that AC circuit of the resonances, and you can create octaves, and you can create tones and harmonics with your breathing and with the sound. So not only are the Schumann resonances of that, like your breath has 2 functions, your breathing. One is to support your life force. The other is to make music, to talk, right? Maybe there's 2 purposes there. Another purpose. You have breathing, and then you have talking, then you have singing. Right? Like singing is a expression of your deep felt feelings. Talking can be that way, but talking is talking just words coming out of your mouth. It doesn't have to be. It's talk. People just let crap come out of their mouth. So it's like, it's like a waste gate, if you will, a mental waste gate. So breathing, there's the breath of life, And then there's the talking waste gate that people use to fuck with each other, just to talk shit. That, all right, well, talk is cheap, like that. There's that function with the mouth of a verbal waste gate, like I said. And then there's singing. There's something that's actually useful with the voice. You can use singing. Okay. So it's the same thing with the Schumann resonances. Like that you have these resonances that are of a type of singing, but they are held intact and they become a type of gravity. You also have the exchange of the ions. That's the exchange of the ions going from the upper to the lower, so it serves as a conduit. The hello. I will tell you what happens is the browser just shuts down, and so that's happened a few times. Yeah, I would have to say the tinfoil hat probably does work well for ringing in the ears. All right, so I wanted to go through something I had gone through earlier, to the 5 or so of you that are here. All right, so in case you weren't here for the last one, let me kind of explain to you what is going on. All right, so I have already kind of gone through the explanation of the connection between earthquakes and the massive spike in the amplitude of the chart at Italy. Okay. So we've been through the earthquake discussion that earthquakes do create amplitude spikes on the Schumann resonance. Darlene, hello, Darlene. Okay, so I have, in fact, while I'm here, all right, let me show you. It's here somewhere. Is this it? Yes. All right. So I have used this elsewhere. All right. So in one of the other videos, I had used this, and this is a contemporaneous capture of, this is the USGS site showing earthquake activity. Okay, this particular one is Croatia. Okay, here. And then there was another one down here. I forget where that was. But this one here was the one that's really close to. As you can see, I am showing you where the Cumiana site is in relation to Italy, northern Italy, right there. Okay. And then up here, you see very close, within the same neighborhood, within literally a stone's roll down the road, is earthquake activity. Okay. And so that is showing you, this was the 6th, the time of this was the 6th, and this here was on the 5th. So these spikes have come on the 5th, preceding these earthquakes. Okay. So that's one of the points that we want to make, is that Schumann resonance signatures a lot of times precede an earthquake. It's one of the reasons why they're looking in the VLF band, VLF and ELF band, is because there are low frequency pressure waves that come with an earthquake. So in the countries that have heavy seismic activity, like Italy, and other countries, they have dedicated a part of their budget to the VLF machines so that they can get an electric reading that will help determine if, to help in the prediction of earthquakes. Okay. So this right here, this little picture here, this is of the VLF station that took the this image here on the 5th. Like I said, this is the 5th, and each day that's the 4th, that's the 3rd, that's the 2nd, that's the 1st. So it goes down each day. It's another, each one of these strips is another 24-hour strip. Just so you know. All right. So this was, I have posted this. I did another video on this where I'm talking about the earthquake behavior that I'm showing you visual aid with the charts. Okay. Matching up earthquake to their chart, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's pretty, that's just a review. Right, so that's already been discussed. So now here, the next thing is we're through that earthquake period. We're in a low. All right, so this right here is a low. This graph right here. Oop. Oh, that's horrible. I can't use that. So this right here. So this is showing you right here, specifically right here, that there's no earthquake behavior. Okay, there's no quakes. You don't see anything there. Okay, it's now, it's current, and you see on the other side of it. All right, this is the last. Like I said, each one of these days, this one's incomplete because the day is not complete yet on that. And this was the day before, and this is the day before, and the day before that. Okay, so so we're looking at that. The seismic meters are calm, and so the earthquake detecting station over there is calm as well. Okay, so we have when there's an earthquake, they're getting like this is the middle of earthquake behavior here, and now that it's calm, you're not seeing any earthquake behavior there. Okay. All right, so we have a couple correlations there. All right, now, the next thing that we look at, because I have gotten a load of stuff from people who have said that I'm, I'm a terrible person because I'm saying that giving the opposing view of those spikes, that those are not regular Schumann energies, that those are earthquake and not solar activity, and therefore Tomsk is not hiding something, and they're not, manufacturing data or whatever. So there's a big, long argument in this of why this is important, and why I'm still on this. Not just because you need to know, but because the mutiny in the ranks of people who are insisting that the Tomsk version is hiding something, because this one here is so high. The one that's on the Italy is so high, right? So if you're under the impression that they're looking at the same thing as the Schumann resonances as Tomsk, you will get a completely messed up view of what you're looking at, because you think you're comparing apples to apples, but one is not. Right. So I don't tell you what to do with the information when you get it. Believe of it what you will. My job here is to explain how to properly read the Schumann resonance charts, which are complicated. Right? So that's why I step out of the area of belief even though it seems like I kind of am, where I intentionally do that because I just want to give you the information on how it properly works so that you yourself can recognize, it's a process. So you yourself can find some interest in looking at the local weather over in Italy, right? You see these big spikes. Don't assume that, the whole world is, don't become Chicken Little. Look at, they're getting an earthquake, right? Well, that's what it should tell you. That's what it tells me. Oh, wow. Like, let me look into that. And sure enough. Oh, okay. Yeah, good. Yeah. How did I know they'd have an earthquake over there? Is it because I saw a reading of 12,000 hertz? Some impossible reading, the Schumann resonance could not possibly go to 12,000 hertz. Do you know what you're saying? Do you realize what that is? Do you have any idea how, no. Look up the earthquake. See if there's an earthquake over there. Then it'll make a lot more sense, all right. So I wanted to point something out. I pointed this out in the earlier video, and I want to point it out to you. All right. So we see here. Let me actually bump this up. I want to show you something. All right. So this, I'm accepting that this is UTC. So they're giving. Yeah, UTC. All right. So they do tell you it's UTC. All right. So the UTC, for those who don't know, means Universal Time Coordinated. So it's a way of coordinating time around the world. It takes over Greenwich Mean Time, but it's still based in Greenwich, England. So this is in UTC. All right. So I want to point out from here. I love this marker tool, by the way. Here to here, basically. Okay, so you see that square in there, all right? There we go, that's better. Wow, fabulous. Fabulous. Oh, now it's an actual movie. Look at that. It's not a wonky screen capture. It's actually a legitimate movie at this point. There we go. Got my gutters in there. All right, look at that. Fabulous arm. Hey, B. Stromsness. I have a hard time pronouncing that, but you know who you are. B. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. One of the family. One of the regulars. One of the crew. All right, so. All right, okay. So, this is what we're looking at on Italy. Okay, so we've already talked about, first off, I want to say something. There's another issue I've talked about in one of the other videos as well, and I will bring this up now. All right, so, right here, okay. You see this color. Dink. Dink. That's negative 100. That's 0. That right there is about negative 60. All right. So if you can see that, so negative 50, that mark is at negative 50 right there, but negative 60, that should have been right there. All right. So you can see where the red, all right. So you see where that red is right there. Okay. That's at approximately 60, negative 60 on a scale of negative 100 from 0 to negative 100. Okay. So that's what this is decibel. And this is, that right there is decibel. So this is the decibel scale right here. Okay. So I have talked about this previously, that the vertical frequency, the height, the vertical, the amplitude is a wave like this, right? It's upright, it moves like that. Ding to ding to ding. Like the mast of a ship that's kind of sailing like that, if you will. Okay. So that's amplitude. The magnetics move out this way, right? Move out that way. They're always coming out that way, but in a spirally, a whirly gig. So as it's, I use the expression tumbling, right? That's a good kind of way of looking at it, tumbling. Oh, robed! Wow, holy crap, everyone's here. Thank you. Or not everyone. Bradley's not here. Jackie's not here, but most everyone's here. Thank you. So you have the propagation of the vertical conductivity, which is upright. That's your vertical frequency, which is not a frequency per se, but it is decibels. Okay, it is your chart of decibels. All right, and I wanted to bring up something else as well. And I'm not going to get sidetracked. All right, so all right, we just talked about the color, where you find the color on here, and you see it doesn't. How do I say this? It goes right into red line. You have this nice gradation from black into dark blue and robin's egg and white, and then it just goes straight into red, and then that's it. There's not even any pink, orange, none of that, nothing. So what you're seeing right at this mark here, 55, I think, 55, negative 55 decibels, is right at the point where it pegs the meter, right? So if you're getting these high amplitude spikes like that are pegging the meter, that's not the sun that's doing it. You got to look for another source, right? That's right. And how do I say this isn't the sun that's doing that, peaking the meters? Because we've already gone through the literature and the earthquakes that say that that's what this is. All right. So I got smart guys writing a bunch of words with no pictures in it. I don't even have any skipping stones that I can land on, just all words, okay, that tell me that's what it is. But if you don't want to believe that, all right, I'm going to show you something else. All right, so the red, so what's, this is also answering the question of what's the colors, what do the colors mean? And the colors here, this blue here, that one, relates to these colors here. Right, that blue, this level of blue, you see that? This level of blue here, these levels of blue here, and that. So those are straight line vector. It's a up and down. It's a vertical frequency, which is amplitude. Vertical frequency is decibel. Okay, so this is it's a vertical frequency. It's not the horizontal, right? This right here is the 7.8 harmonic. You see how flat line that is? That is the resonant frequency, okay? That is the Schumann frequency, that's 7.8, that stays like you see it. It's like a line. I mean, it's staying intact. It's not rising or any of that. This is a good place for you to see how intact that 7.8 line is. You don't get that impression with Tomsk a lot of times, but you get that impression here, right? So, all right, so I want to point out something that, okay, so this box right here, I want to point something out. Now, first off, the time here, this is 6. This line is 6. That's 6. This one here, this is at 12 noon. That's 6 a.m. Then this is a 18, which is, this is 6 p.m. Okay. So we're nailing down a time here. This is on the 6th, right? This is the 5th. You can see it right there. That's the 4th. So you can see the date. That's the 7th. Right. So on the 6th, look at this. On the 6th, this is universal time. All right. So you see so this would be right here. It's 9 a.m. All right. Now we're going to call that maybe 10 or 11. Figure maybe 10. All right. So 10 a.m. Okay. All right. So right about this point here, you see. Okay. So right about that point there, 10 a.m. You see that. All right. Now we have, this is our KP index. For those of you who know what the KP index is, it's the interplanetary, well, if you don't know, I'll tell you. All right. So it's basically, it's the interplanetary magnetic connection between the two of us, the Earth and the Sun. So that is how this magnetic kind of connection is part of how we stay intact, and it's part of our gravity, right? That magnetic attraction we have, it's part of what gravitationally holds us intact, but it is also a direct line to the sun. So when things come off from the sun, they get attracted through our intermagnetic planetary field, and then it comes to us, and most of it kind of goes around the planet in the magnetosphere, right? It's like a lot of it, that's sort of what it is, and like a cheese grater. I think that's a great way to look at this, a great analogy, that some of it gets through the mesh, like the dead ahead, straight line, it gets through the mesh, and we get light. We get optical light. The rest of it kind of gets shielded around the planet, and then you have the active magnetic, kind of interaction between us. And it's more complicated than that, but that's kind of the best way to think about it relative to the Schumann resonances and what we're doing here. All right. So here at this point, we get, it's like the Pony Express for, electromagnetic radiations from the sun. I think that's a good way to look at it. So we look at, it's a common thing, we look at the KP index, which I've done videos on the KP index. I'm not going to explain it now. This is the adults class. You'll have to do your own research. But for those of you who know the value of the KP, it's one of the things we look at in the yellow. All right. So this is 1 day measured into 8 bars. It's 8 hours. That's 4. Each one of these is 4 hours. Near as I can figure, 4 times 8 is 24. Am I mistaken? 8, 16, 3, I guess. So maybe that's 3 hours. 3 times 8 is 24. All right, so these are 3-hour increments. So 3, 6, 9. You see this here, 9 o'clock. So, but by 9, you see it's rising though. Okay, it's elevated at that point. It hits this peak. It's somewhere around like 9, 10. It kind of goes, and then it just gradually kind of drops down. But there's a period here, this period here. All right, 3 times 8 is 24. So it starts at 0, then it goes, 3, 6, like I said, 9. So the 9 would start there, I think. So 9, 10, 11. So within the time frame of this, and it varies from, within the course of an hour, you'll see that number going up and down. Right, it doesn't stay that way. It's not the whole day reading, but at this particular time when I did that, this was a good, demonstration of what had happened a few days before that. So we're seeing on the 6th that there was something that happened there. Okay, so that matches up with, at least in theory, there's something there that matches up with this. And you see there's a big spike there. There's activity here. All right? There's activity here. Okay. But this one spike gets up here to somewhere around, this is 40, 45. Right, so this thing here gets somewhere around, right, generally speaking, gets somewhere around 40, tops out at 40 hertz on the vertical. All right, so this matches up with the KP. Okay, just doing some basic, sleuth work, basic detective work. And then we see here on the Schumann, the Tomsk Schumann, okay. The 6th, so we're at the 6th here, okay. This one here is local time, all right. This one here is local time, okay. So universal time would be about here, okay, 9, our target is 9 or 10, right. So we see something here at the 9 or 10, somewhere around here. So we see a little, little spike. There's also something else there as well that you can't really tell exactly the time there that you can't hear. We're guessing, a few hours difference. We're calling it 10. I'm calling it 10 over there. So this is, 10. That's 10 UTC right there. Okay. So, but there's something. There's something, right? There's definitely clearly something, even though it's not a big spike. I mean, you look at this, the number here, right? 7.08. That's not really much significant. There is something there. So that's something that I had wanted to point out, that when you're looking for possible causes of stuff, you're looking for what's doing this. You one of the tricks, one of the tools is to go to the KP index. You look at the works over here. So you look at the local KP index. As you see, we have there's something that's there. Clearly, something that's there. And right. So this is one of our factors that we look at here, is the solar weather. So you see the KP index is relatively calm. KP. Kitchen patrol. Okay, go back. All right. Let's see. I had some notes here. Oh, there we go. There it is. Okay. So, all right, so something I had also wanted to mention. All right, so this is one of the tools we go to, we look for, helping us to figure out what the possible effects on the Schumann resonance are. Okay. All right, it's buffering, it's not going to show me. All right. All right, so, one of the things, back to where I'm at. All right. So, there's a few points I had wanted to make. A few points I want to make. All right. So, the Tomsk, Russia, is part. I've mentioned this before. It's part of the state observing space. I'm sorry, the space observing system, which is in Tomsk State University, and this station is dedicated to the Schumann resonances, to picking up Schumann resonances, which measure in the horizontal, which is the quality, up to 40 hertz, and the vertical, the amplitude frequency of up to 200 decibels. Okay. Tomsk State University has more modest instrumentation on their site, unless they're measuring a lower band of frequencies than Italy, because their site is dedicated to the spectrum of Schumann energies. So the dedicated spectrum of 0.3 to approximately 46 hertz is what Tomsk is dedicated to. All right. So I want to read you the report from the gentleman at CIEN, CIEN, Central Italy Electromagnetic Network, that talks about the purpose of the publication talks about the purpose of CIEN, but it also gives some conclusions. And I wanted to just read through the conclusions so you can see the level of effect of electromagnetics on, the effect of or the interaction between earthquakes and low frequency waves. Okay. Sorry, sometimes I have a hard time getting my words together and figure out what I want to say. All right. Okay. Solar radiance. All right. So I'm reading the. I just want to give a little observation on what I'm looking at, what we are looking at here. Solar radiance has been, now, as of now, we're talking about now. The solar radiance has been moderate, and so the KP index has been calm. We see that here. During high periods of KP activity, often we see solar. You see stuff coming up on the spectrum from Schumann, the Tomsk Schumann, and the correlation between solar activity. That's why we look at the KP index, the correlation between solar activity and what you're seeing on the Schumann resonance charts. Okay. So here at Tomsk, something else that I had mentioned before, we have this synchronous mode. That's what I call a synchronous mode. That's where all four of these match up in a fairly identical type of pattern, even though it's kind of jagged around the edges. Still a little jaggy there, jaggy there. So you see this kind of sudden rise, a peak, and then a drop, and then a little bit of a ledge, a little bit of a ledge, and then it kind of gradually goes down. There's another kind of peak up, then and then this there. All right, so that to me, when I see that, I call that synchronous mode, and that is to me is a sign that it is coming from a solar burst. And so you see this around there. That time here, you see we have something there with the KP index there. Okay, that it was able to, and I know at that particular time, the day, that was solar energy that's coming in over that 6-hour period or 10 hours, whatever it was. synchronous modes, I talked about that. The synchronous modes are when you're getting, this all amplitude, when it all matches up, like, like nested eggs or nested dolls. When it's like that, it's incoming from solar radiance. All right. When when your amplitude matches the quality, A1 and A2, right? When you see a wave that's similar, right? Or here, this here, with this here, right? See, they're not matched up. You can see the yellow A2 and Q2, the yellow line, these are not matched up. They're, if it's from Earth, if it's from the ionosphere down, it'll be matched up. Right? That's what our common theory holds, that the electro is requited with the magnetics, and they work together. So if they're separate, right? You see they're separate. This is a flat line here, and that's up in a bump. If they've separated, they're from different sources. So that's one of the ways that you can tell, is that if the electro is not requited with the magnetic, then it's from a different source. All right. So that's the solar burst that came from there. Generally speaking, it's been low activity, but you see this is the 33 parallel right there, and that's what our goal is eventually. 33. All right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is there we go. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read through the conclusions by Cristiano Fidani, whatever his name is. And basically, this is a guy that knows he knows the machines in Italy. He's the guy that you want to call when you're trying to figure out those Schumann resonances. All right, so I'm looking the comment at Florence Gardner. These graphs feel very disturbing. Oh, yeah, that's a good response by Robed. Most everything is disturbing. All right, so explain what you mean by these graphs feel very disturbing. All right. There's... I will answer the question, what do I mean? A different source. Okay. First, I'm going to have a nice, refreshing beverage. Okay. The basic theory, our first theory about the Schumann resonances, is that they are caused by or formed by lightning discharge. All right. I've referred to it. I refer to it this way, as the upper DC circuit connects to the lower DC circuit. It creates an AC, different type of electrical circuit. Right? DC is direct current, 1-to-1, me to you, straight up. And then alternating is where it bounces, goes from here, up and down, up and down, up and down. It goes all over, it goes crazy. It plays with you. All right. So the 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 source of Schumann resonances, generally speaking, is lightning discharge going from the upper DC to the lower DC circuit, completing that circuit, okay? Like a battery, if you will. So the first source of Schumann resonances is the lightning clouds, if you will, the ionosphere, the high charge that is in the capacitor, the Earth, the upper DC circuit as a capacitor. Okay, it holds a charge. All right. So that's sort of an enclosed system that, you know, it's semi-closed. It's fairly closed. It's not open to more. I don't know how to say it. It's a somewhat closed system. You know, some does get in, but more. You know, hello. Sorry.